To repair a knife like this, simply use sandpaper and slowly increase the grit until the smudge is gone. This is one of my favorite knives that I messed up a while back and didn't know how to fix it at first. Finally, one day I just figured sanding is probably the answer. Okay, first thing I did was I decided to start with 5000 grit sandpaper. I put an old towel down to collect any residue and to protect my surfaces. Also, I made sure to keep the sandpaper and the knife pretty wet throughout the work. One thing I learned is that if you feel any resistance, stickiness, or grip, you need to stop and reevaluate your sandpaper and if things are wet enough. You want to keep things smooth. Okay, after 5000 grit, this is what it looks like. I primarily decided to remove the smudge with this grip as it is the grittiest polish. Okay, now it's time for more polishing and blending. I'm going up to 7000 grit here. The goal now is again to continue to remove the smudge and blend and polish the metal. One thing I kept noticing was that the metal kept picking up impurities as I was sanding. And I'm pretty sure that this is because my sandpaper was starting to load up with metal and then redistributing it onto the knife. But if you have a better explanation, please drop it down below. When I started noticing this, I moved to a newer unused spot on the sandpaper and used more water. That seemed to kind of help things out. At this point, I said that the knife is good enough for me, but you can go a step further and use, say, a 10,000 grit sandpaper to really get all the imperfections out. My original goal was just to remove the smudge and not mirror polish the knife. I actually quite like the original finish, so at this point, I think it's good enough for me. It's important to keep in mind that knives are metal, and when it comes to smudges and scratches, sanding is really the only way to go about fixing them and getting them back to where you want them to be. If you have your own favorite knife polishing or blade care techniques that you like to employ, please drop them down below because I love learning about these things. And that's the video. If you liked it, please drop a like. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.